Welcome back, entrepreneurs. For e-commerce, work from home, whether you're receiving 1099 subcontractors or contractors with or without employees, we are giving commentary video just for you to have insights. We try to simplify the different accounting terms between the perspective of me as a business owner, like a CEO, and then also we have our accountant that will try to simplify the explanation of different accounting terms. Because if you, this video is for you if you're trying to raise money. That is why it's called elevator pitch. For this, since this is the first time, let me just give you an idea. What is an elevator pitch? This is a snapshot of what do you want from the investor, how much do you want, and how are you going to use the money. Okay, whether you're asking $100,000, $250,000, all of those you need to tell them in less than 1 minute 60 seconds because of the short attention span. Can you imagine putting yourself every day you're checking pitch deck after pitch deck, asking for money left and right, 100. They don't have the luxury of time to understand what is your business model. That's the reason why we are showing it to you to make it simple so that every investor can understand easily what do you want to do and how do you want to use the money. If you have not seen this, YouTube, it's free. Elevator pitch entrepreneur. Type that if you're trying to raise money aside from getting money from the bank. This is an alternative way to start your business. But who am I and why am I here? Well, I'm Christopher. I founded my company now making in a 7-figure revenue. It's Wyco Tax, a virtual tax and bookkeeping outsource here in the United States. I'm also an IRS acceptance agent, but I started as an employee and now I have 2 offices and we're doing virtual and we are growing even faster than before. Then also, I will be co-hosted, but no other than he's very good on this. He's always been my consultant. No other than he's a certified accounting and finance professional that worked 4 years in KPMG. If you have no idea what KPMG, this is the top five accounting firm in the world. It's so hard to get there. That's the reason why we are very privileged to have him here, and he will join us regularly. He works with KPMG in taxation and audit, also worked in VAT specialist. He has a 6-month assignment in Dubai and KPMG. No other than Obaid Ali.
Thank you, Chris, for having me. How are you?
I'm good. Are you ready? Okay, we're gonna play the video, and then we're gonna give our comments. What are the things that you might be bumped when you're developing your elevator pitch? And let's start right now. Okay. And if you have comments and questions, feel free to let us know by putting your comment below this on the comment section, and we will answer it as much as we can.
During a 60-second pitch.
Welcome to the boardroom.
I'm Nicole Walters. I'm the CEO and founder of Learning Company, a business education firm.
Hi, I'm Mark Dolph. I was the co-founder and first CEO of Netflix. Now I'm a mentor, investor, and Silicon Valley entrepreneur.
Hi, I'm Kim Perrell. I am the CEO of 100.co, and I am an award-winning entrepreneur, angel investor, and best-selling author.
My name is Pete Goldberg. I'm the founder of PLG Ventures, an early-stage venture capital firm. I'm also the host of the show.
It's Entrepreneur Elevator Pitch, presented by Amazon Business with support from State Farm and T-Mobile for Business.
Okay, who's ready to make some money?
Let's hear the first pitch.
10 years ago, I quit my job working at Goldman Sachs as a distressed investment trader, and I quit Wall Street for Wallstreet. Apothecary is a natural pharmacy. We provide clean alternatives to over-the-counter drugs and supplements for stress, skin, beauty, everything in between, and we personalize herbal medicine for your unique needs. Not only was I a minority founder, my parents were both immigrants, and so part of my journey of becoming who I am today is to stand up and be a model for other people that look just like me.
Your 60 seconds begins now. Going up.
Hi, my name is Shizu. Like she went to the zoo. I am from Apothecary, the founder and CEO of Apothecary. A few years ago, I quit my job working on Wall Street to become an entrepreneur on Wall Street. Today, apothecary is what I call Mother Nature's pharmacy. Pharmacy with an F, using food as medicine. We personalize results based on your unique mind-body constitution by taking a simple quiz on our website. More than ever, people today are seeking clean, plant-based ingredients for their health, and that's where we come in. Apothecary offers clean, natural alternatives to over-the-counter supplements using synthetic ingredients. To date, in less than 2 years, we've grown from zero, completely bootstrapped, to now doing over 8 figures in revenue, shipping to over 22 countries worldwide, and just launched in Urban Outfitters. So you're seeking $50,000 in a safe note.
There you go. Before we continue, this is a 60-second. Obaid, what do you think about her pitch?
I believe she did a good job regarding the pitch. She hit all the boxes for the pitch. She made her ask. She actually provided her background for the business and what's her traction is for in terms of sales. I believe she did a good job in that elevator pitch.
Yes, that's very true. One thing that I've noticed is the 3 Fs. I did my acronym because I competed with the pitch, but it's local. Just follow the 3 Fs. That's what I've seen. The feelings, facts, and figures. Let me show you guys. What is feelings, facts, and figures? In less than 1 minute, in less than maybe 15 seconds, she was able to connect with them. Why? Because on the feelings, you have to tell your background. Are you an immigrant? Are you a woman? You're this, a minority business of the year. If you've noticed how she strategized it, people connect with feelings, right? And then she was able to mention about her job and then how many years. And then she jumped in the facts. When she say facts about what is her unique selling proposition about her company, she mentioned about natural. This is apothecary. She's not using jargon, those names. That's very complicated. She wants to use it letter natural. And then she also put a good emphasis on letter F, like the acronym, like pharmacy, it's letter F because it comes from farm. So it's so easy to digest. I really like the way how she tried to simplify it, enable for an investor to understand it easily what she does. Then figures, she never forget her figures. Do not forget the numbers. When we say figures, she knows how many revenue are they already kicking in, and then also how many years have they been. Those are very valuable information, so we would know how, when, and how much are you guys making. And then the good thing is also she did a 50,000 in safe note. Before we go further, this is very important. It doesn't always need to have an equity offer. It doesn't need to have like a 10% equity. You could actually offer like a safe note. But for further to understand what is safe note, let's ask Obaid, our accountant. What is safe note?
Yeah, safe note is actually safe agreement for future equity. I mean, it's a convertible security that is like an option or warrant, and it allows the investor to actually buy the shares in a future price round.
Exactly. So this is something like conditional. Is that safe to say?
Yeah.
So they will determine the value when the company is already getting to that
future
kind of
price round.
Yes, business valuation. Guys, safe note, please make sure if you are not sure how much equity you're willing to give to the investor or to your friends or family members, you could start with the safe note. Again, safe is simple agreement for future equity. That's why it's SAFE. Okay, there you go. But do you think she's am I right? Safe is that how it meant, right? Simple
Yes.
agreement for future equity.
Yes.
What do you think? Are they going to let her in?
I believe she's going to get into the boardroom with the investors.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue.
Time's up.
So what did you guys think of Shizu in that pitch?
She seems like a really cool girl. I appreciate how fresh she is, and I think all that aligns with her brand. Done a lot in just 2 years, scaling to 8 figures. She sounds like she's been in the game for a while, and she's a bit more of a pro. So Strap says one thing, 10 million says another.
Yeah, no, listen, $10 million, if that's the number, is actually pretty impressive. But I want to know the unit economics. I mean, you could do that by losing money hand over fist.
Right.
And there's a lot that's unsaid here.
It's not adding up. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. She did a good pitch, and I think it's a big market opportunity. But 50K, at what valuation? What's she going to use the funds on? It's going to go quickly.
Yeah, there's something fishy about the 50K.
Yeah.
I mean, that really gives me pause.
Absolutely.
Well, it sounds like there's a lot of questions still outstanding. It's time to vote. Well, it looks like all three of you.
There you go. I think we are on the same page with investors. They need, it's like America's Got Talent, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but before we proceed, there are two questions. There are two important details that we need to discuss. What do you mean by bootstrap?
It's bootstrap is basically when the startup means growing your business with your little or actually with no venture capital. I mean, it's investing the business by yourself. It's owner's injection into the business.
Yeah, and then owners, basically bootstrapping is raising money from the people that you know, from family and friends.
Yeah,
That's
from family and friends and from owners' personal savings
mhm.
or business revenue. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how you bootstrap your business. Either you raise the fund with if you have savings. We met clients that are doing taxes that they withdraw their 401k. That's also a form of bootstrap, correct?
Mm-hmm.
To start a business, your family, relatives, those are the people that trust you first. I don't do that personally. When I started my company, I did my own approach by finding a business partner where exchanged sweat equity, which means I never been paid for the past 2-3 years, but because that's my contribution rather than money. And then my business partner, my ex business partner, funded it. So that's another way of bootstrapping it.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Okay, let's continue. So she's gonna get in. Oh, before that, there's another one that they discuss. What is unit of economics in simple terms?
Unit economics is basically like how you describe a specific business model's revenue and cost in relation to an individual unit. I mean, he wants to know like what's her revenue and what's her cost per product to make. I mean, that is in relation to what she's asking, like 50,000 in a safe note. So he wants to know the unit economic before he could actually get into negotiation with raising that amount for her or giving
Oh,
that amount of investment to her. Yeah,
yeah. So it's the revenue cost, correct? The cost of
yeah.
goods. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's very important. Remember, they're not only looking with your sales or your revenue, they're looking on your profit margin at the end. That's why there's a unit of economics. And I'm pretty sure it's plays a big role in any type of businesses. You need to know what would be your take home on top of those cost of goods or have been taken out. All right, let's continue.
You want to hear more? I can't wait to hear how this one goes. Let's open the doors.
Welcome to the boardroom.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, Shizu.
Hi.
All three investors wanted to hear more, and they voted to bring you in.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I love it. You did great. And the growth on your company is incredible. So it's
Thank
great to
you.
see. Yeah, I was wondering a little bit if you could tell me more about the valuation. So 50K
Yes.
on a safe.
Yeah, so it's a safe note. We've closed actually 3.45 of that already, so we have only 50K left in the round. But it's a 40 million cap, the lesser of 10% the discount to the next round, or 40 million as the next valuation, which is about implied 4x multiple to our trailing 12-month revenue.
So we're all fighting over the last 50K.
Basically.
So that's the trailing 12 months. What are you thinking that forward 12 months looks like?
So we're 100% direct to consumer right now. But next year, we're able to open up our doors for retail expansion, as well as open up our own direct to consumer retail stores in New York, LA, as well as San Francisco. So we estimate to be about double again. So we launched at zero in 2020, closed out the year over 5 million in revenue.
Wow.
Hit over 10 million in revenue this year as
Dang.
well.
Great. How many SKUs do you have?
So we have about, this isn't all.
Yeah, that's what I was
This
wondering.
is our blends, but we also have single herbs. And so the single herbs is what I think about sort of the next level to the blends. Like we got you, then you got those with the single herbs so that they can actually customize their own. So there's maca, reishi.
So before we proceed, did you get that there's the cap. What do you mean by putting cap on it? I think she's raising what, 4 million, and then she's asking 50,000. Is that like
Yeah.
a big? It's like a big pizza. It's like a big pizza in terms of layman's term, and then she's splitting the pizza and distributing it to the investor, right? So that's why she has a 50,000
Yeah.
asking. Okay,
Yes.
can you
Basically,
expand more about what is a cap and that how does it being distributed?
I mean, the cap is basically limiting the interest rate of a borrower or bond issuer that pays in a rising interest rate environment and set the maximum level of return for the lender or investor. Basically, it's setting up a limit that how much of that interest would be paid by a borrower in terms of by getting an investment. So they actually limit their risk regarding increasing interest rates in the market.
Yeah, I think what they're trying to do is whatever your contribution, the amount of money your contribution in the bigger piece of the pie, the smaller piece of the pie that you give or that you get, the smaller interest that you're gonna get as an investor, right? Because I think this lady raised big chunk of money already, so therefore
Yeah,
it's only 50,000 the remaining.
so the initial seed round is.
Okay, that's good. But I mean, right now at this point, millions of dollars are really, really hard to raise. So that's this lady. She's doing an amazing job on
I
raising
believe
funds.
it's not for the money; it's for getting the right connections. Because $50,000, she can actually get that amount from her business because she's making millions in sales already.
Yeah, she doesn't even need that that fifty
Yeah,
thousand. I'm kind of curious if you're selling millions, why do you have to have? Do you have any idea why do you still have to get 50,000?
I mean, it's just closing it down and getting to the. I mean, it's a public
Yeah, it's just
most likely.
publicity. At the end of the day, it's just marketing herself out there. She's opening herself for more opportunities and more investors that will give her opportunity or more people that will connect to her. 50,000. Okay, let me press continue.
Ashwagandha root, rubiola. I mean, there's so many. And so we are really building that authority voice and messaging around herbal medicine that has never been done before in the US.
So, Sisu, I'm really impressed with the revenue growth. I mean, $5 million to $10 million. I'm going to do the math in a second, but what's the margin you have?
About 70%.
70%?
Correct.
That's fantastic.
That's wonderful.
What I'm really curious about is let's talk about the life of a single customer. How many
That's a big margin, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
70%.
What is a profit margin?
The profit margin, it's basically split into two things: gross profit and then there is net profit margin. Mostly, these entrepreneurs actually tell about their GP margins because it basically relates to their direct cost of production or cost of service related to their sales. So it's like revenue minus direct cost of sales or cost of production, then it gives you the gross profit.
Exactly. So, and this is specific example, or guys, if you're listening out there, you need to know your profit margin. When you say profit margin, the gross revenue, this is your sales. Let's say $100,000 if you have a restaurant, but when you buy in Sam's Club, Costco, producing the food, the meat, the styrofoam, all of this, then you spend $30,000 in able to generate 100,000. So therefore, your profit margin is 70,000. Or I mean, correct, right? 70,000, which is converted to 70%.
Mhm.
So that is the most important. And if you have that margin, my God, investors are gonna crawl up to you. Bankers are gonna knock on your door left and right because they want to have a smaller piece of your pie. So that's the reason profit margin is very important. Go to your financial statements right now and go look after cost of goods sold. What is your take home? Or what is the remaining? If it's negative, that's not good.
Yeah.
That's not a business. That's a hobby. All right.
of them order a second time?
Actually, very high. So our retention rate right now is about 46%, which I believe is in the top quartile of retention rate.
Fantastic. Really impressive.
So I have a hard-hitting question.
Sure.
I mean, you're treading the line of conventional medicine, and how are you navigating that? You know, there are people who are going to be concerned that you may be drifting into an area they shouldn't be in. There may be licensing issues. So I would hate to invest and then find out that you got shut down in a couple of different markets.
Sure, yeah, no, it's a great question. I mean, given my experience having worked in the juice space as well, I'm very familiar with the FDA and sort of the dietary supplement labeling requirements as well as the legalities. We can't ever say this is going to cure or treat, which we never do. We always say this will support. This has been used over 5,000 years based on customers just like you using user-generated content. 90% of those customers have said X to Y improvement.
Clearly, since you're raising money, you're not cash flow positive.
We are.
You are cash flow positive.
Correct. We just want to grow faster.
And so the money, what's this, the source of funds is going to be, the funds is going to be used for what?
Team. So we actually just got our $2 million line of credit in conjunction with this $3.5 million of equity. So we're going to use the line of credit.
She knows what she's doing. One thing that I've experienced, remember guys, one thing that that been questioned, one investor would always say or question the effectivity or especially if it's a food or something edible. Make sure, especially you always have to have disclaimer. Whether you're providing a service, you always have to make sure this is for education purposes only. It's not meant for any legal advice. That is one thing for service industry, but for food, there's always have a disclaimer. It's not FDA approved. This is just based on the history. That's how she knows how to rebuttal the different questions and concerns of the investor, right?
Yeah, definitely. She knows her business really well.
And then she even have a line of credit. Line of credit, I have not used line of credit, but how is it different from a regular loan?
I mean, the line of credit is kind of a regular loan. I mean, it's from a bank or a financial institution that gives you a loan on a certain percentage that you would be returning back over the period of loan. I mean, it could be like 5 years or 10 years or maybe 15 years. It depends actually on the terms that the financial institution is providing.
And one thing that I've learned about when I attended this training with the bank, you need to apply for a line of credit from the time that you don't need it. Because, line of credit is not something that you need to use. It is something like a reserve fund. And also, this can be used for a 12-month run, like in a operational cost, because they're very flexible. But you have to pay them back. This is more like a short term. So that's why she's good, because she's still keeping a lot of money. She has a good cash flow, and then she has a working capital using line of credit to $2 million. Those are really good financial decisions she's doing. That's why for those of you out there, leverage on other people's money. That's the reason why there's an OPM, other people's money. That's why you see banks has the biggest building, because they know how to leverage on your money. And that's why I said, if I could turn back time, I already applied for the line of credit for the payroll costs, for the operations, all of those things, because that's something that is something tangible. You can easily access it rather than using your own cash flow.
True.
For our growing inventory needs, including coconut, bottles, labels. Everything we're shipping right now is taking almost 6 months of a longer period. We don't want to use equity financing to buy coconut powder. It doesn't make any sense. So we want to use the equity financing for things like retail stores, our CapEx higher needs like staff, training, retail outlets, investments into claims and studies, really high on return on equity type of investments.
What is equity financing?
I mean, it basically depends on equity financing is the process of raising capital through the sale of shares. Basically, the company raised money because they might have a short-term need to pay bills or have a long-term goal or required funds to invest in their growth or by selling shares. So it's like doing an IPO, initial public offering. I mean, or it's like selling their shares to raise finance from the public.
Okay, so you're selling what you have, like a potential equity from the company in terms of money.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a very good leverage.
Shizu, you said that with this $3.5 million of equity, so far it's only 3.45.
Correct.
And all three of them ultimately wanted to open the doors. Is anybody prepared to make an offer?
I am absolutely prepared to make an offer. And not only will I give you your 50K to close this thing out, I'm an influencer myself. So it would be more than my pleasure and my honor to support another business that reminds me of how I grew up, with not just the funds, but also the following, and help bring more people to the Apothecary brand.
Appreciate it.
Well, not so fast, Nicole. It's clear this isn't just about the money. I think what I could perhaps contribute, which is even more valuable, is actually help with the business. I certainly don't have the social media following Nicole does.
I don't either, don't worry.
But I do have probably 30 to 40 years of e-commerce experience, including building quite a few companies to a fairly large scale, doing very, very similar things. And so I think that really is what I think I could bring to the party if you found that interesting.
I love it. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Wow, you've got some great offers here. And I think at this point, second-time founder, definitely, I can see how you will get to an exit. Just given my current investment thesis, I'm passing.
Thank you.
You like investing in companies that don't get to an exit?
Well, I think given the supply chain currently right now, you have, like, there is going to be challenges, and there's going to be a lot of, this isn't the last raise she's going to need. So I just am looking ahead, and I just think for me,
See, my flaw is I like all these kind of companies. I'm a believer.
Yeah, I'm a believer. I want to get in there and get dirty. So, I mean, I may not have 30, 40 years of experience. That's true. And you wouldn't be wrong choosing either one of us unless you didn't choose me. And I will tell you right now that as a woman-owned entrepreneur who understands the use of these products and some of the lines that kind of cater towards women, I really can speak the language of Apothecary.
Shizu, you have two offers on the table. If anything, they're selling you more than you selling them for the money. I'm a little confused here.
The tables have turned.
You need to make a decision. Who do you want to go with?
Nicole!
Yes! Whoa!
Wow, that's good.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I'm so excited.
Thank you.
I've lost deals before, but
congratulations.
yeah, that's going to be an awesome company.
No, it
and
is
I
gonna
think
be an
they'll really
awesome
benefit from having you behind them.
No, I'm really excited to see what she does. Her heart's in it, and it's not her first time at the rodeo, so I think we'll be able to pull out something great. I'm happy to sell it to any of you after the fact. Sounds
And a
good.
nice markup, I assume.
Well, nice markup, for sure. For sure, I learned a thing or two.
So you had two investors basically throwing money at you, selling you to invest. Why did you choose Nicole?
You know, it was a combination of a lot of things. I felt like we really connected on air. We came from the same city of DC. And not only that, she's a minority female, and we need to have more minority females writing checks. I'm going to be that one day.
Entrepreneur elevator pitches.
All right, there you go. This is our first episode for our commentary video. I hope you guys are learning something. If you have more questions, let us know. What are your takeaways? This is a very impressive pitch
Yeah.
overall.
I mean, she actually knew her business really well for that purpose. And she knew all ins and outs of the business, how she wanted to scale. And she had all the answers regarding the traction, how she want to deal with the licensing issues and the supply chain. I think she had all the answers to their questions, and probably it was not for the money. It was probably for getting that connections and having someone really influential on back to actually scale the business to $1 billion company.
Yeah, actually, what remember, guys, for those of you that trying to ask for money, you have to sell yourself first. You have to sell yourself first before the idea, because I attended more like an elevator pitch summit. Remember, the lady, she picked the other one because she's a minority, she's an immigrant, she's female. Those are the things that, and then she also like told where she came from, like what city. Those are just the common denominator. Never ever forget the human appeal. anywhere you go, they want to know who you are and your character, your capability to take this business to the next level before asking that money. Because when you get that kind of relationship and connection, people will listen. Investor will listen to you. That's my takeaway more than. But out of anything that you present, the facts and figures, if they cannot find any connection to you, they still gonna say no.
Exactly.
Right?
And
Okay, guys, that would be all on our first episode on our commentary video. I hope you learned something, because I know learning accounting, learning principles like these numbers could be fun by just watching and then absorbing it. If you have not subscribed on our channel, please do subscribe. That's the reason why of all of this things that you're doing for your business, whether you're raising money, you're raising capital, you're looking for investors or lenders or bankers, the most important thing is updated financial records. That's the reason why we're bundling the service, the tax and bookkeeping. All you have to do is book our appointment, a 30-minute consultation by clicking the link below, and one of our account specialists will give you a free estimate. Again, guys, if you like this content, please click share and subscribe today. Again, I'm Christopher, IRS acceptance agent, founder of Wyco Tax, the virtual outsource for tax and bookkeeping here in the United States, and I'm will be co-hosted regularly by no other than my consultant, Obaid Ali, our accountant that worked for 4 years on KPMG. All right, guys. Again, we will see you soon on the next episode. Stay safe.
bye-bye. Thank you.